All right, friends. Hello, everyone, and all those who are listening on the recording. This is Kirti Bakshi here, friends. I am a psychotherapist and I am backed by 25 years of experience or even more. In this field, I passed out as a psychotherapist from Chennai University 30 years ago. And that's where I started my journey. So, during the course of the last 30 years, I have come across, actually, I passed out 35 years ago. And I didn't immediately start working as a counselor because 35 years ago, it was not so popular. I started my work working with children, learning disabilities, remedial education. And then I wanted to get into counseling. So I did a whole lot of things. And it's a journey, of becoming a full-fledged counselor, setting up your practice. Today, I have a private practice in Mumbai and I train in metaphor therapy. I train in child psychology, play therapy, core counseling skills, basic and advanced, NLP, family constellations. These are all my trainings which are on rotation around the year. I train in India, Singapore, and Dubai. These are the three areas that are three parts of the world that I regularly visit and I train in. In India, I train in Mumbai, Delhi, Calcutta, Bangalore. All these are four cities. Jaipur. These are some of the cities I go to also. So let us begin. I won't take too much of your time. Let's come straight to the point. So, why metaphor therapy? First, let me tell you why metaphor therapy, and then I will tell you what is metaphor therapy. So, when I was starting out, that's the time I realized that there are people who, or me for that matter, we required so much skill to hold a session for 1 hour. When I took my first client, that 1 hour seemed very, very long. It just seemed like, it would never end because the client had already told what their problems were. They were venting out, and I knew that you had to be a listener. But beyond that, how to navigate the session, how to take the session to a conclusive understanding, how to close the session, these were all the areas that were very new for me as a neurotherapist or a neo counselor. And I realized that each one of us will be having to go through this journey. It was then that I started looking to enrich myself. University had given me a lot of theory, which helped me, but it helped me in a way where I could read and write psychology, understand lectures on psychology, understand a lot of, let us say, written material. But when it came to practically conducting a session, I thought I could do much better. I thought I needed guidance. I thought I needed hand holding over there. And that's where my search for all kinds of practical, applicable techniques began. And I did my CBT, I did my REBT, I did client centered therapy, I did everything. And finally, I was learning with educational psychology from Rudolf Steiner, which is an institute in Mumbai, which is based on the philosophy of theosophy or anthroposophy. And that is what actually was my last thing that really impressed me. And when I went over there, I saw how art was being used, and art was being used to understand children. Art was being used to understand the parent. It was a very art-based kind of learning. So that's where drawings were being used to understand children, and that set me on a curiosity. And I went and I took up, excuse me, I took up a job in a research firm where I was the head of the department, psychology research. And I started researching on the use of art in psychotherapy. And that's where I realized that they were using something called as projective psychology. And projective psychology and drawing analysis belong to the part of a projective school of psychology, which was laid by Carl Jung. So Carl Jung is the father of projective psychology, and that's where tarot was actually brought out by him. And I came across a lot and lot of educational material, and I put together anthroposophy, theosophy, and projective psychology, and I've started putting them all together in a format where I could do drawing analysis like the ones I saw at the Rudolf Steiner. And I started doing drawing analysis for people. And I wouldn't say I was like roaring in my practice, because back then it was difficult to get clients. So I had to support myself also with a job. And it's not as easy as today it is to, set up a practice. So I learned how to analyze drawings, and then I took up a course in hypnotherapy. And it was there that I met lots of people. I met a whole community of people in my hypnotherapy circle. They all came together, and we would work with each other, and a very enriching program on hypnotherapy as well. And I decided to become a hypnotherapy trainer. Meanwhile, I was still understanding drawings and projective psychology school. My research was going on. I became a hypnotherapist. I became a hypnotherapy teacher. And it was then that I came across people who wanted their drawings analyzed, and I was analyzing drawings. And the model that I had put together, of course, based on a whole lot of research and a whole lot of evidence-based practices, was working. People were coming to me for drawing analysis, and all the hypnotherapy group was a group of good 200, 300 people. And then they said, why don't you teach us? And it was then back 25 years ago that I said, okay, I will start formulating a course. And I formulated a course, but I started teaching it after much longer. So it's been 20 years that I've been teaching it. And then I realized there's so much more to the projective school of psychology. It is such a unique way of working with people and getting results. And I also realized that the results are faster. If they are in depth, it helps you to penetrate the subconscious of the client merely through use of techniques. And I figured out that there are three ways of doing it. One is the drawing analysis, which is called as a visual metaphor. And the whole thing of metaphor was based on one statement by Carl Jung, which he has written in his book called The Man and His Symbols, where he says that the subconscious mind does not know any language. So, subconscious mind stores information in the forms of images. These images are called as metaphors. So, if you want to actually access the client's subconscious and know what is deeper level going on, then you need to access the pictures that they bring to you. And that's what stayed with me. And then I read up a lot on metaphor, use of verbal metaphor. There's a lot and lot of work that many organizations have done. There are lots of books available. You can Google online also in metaphor therapy. And I read up a lot, and I started using them in conjunction with CBT and hypnotherapy in my practice. And I started getting a lot of referral clients. And I also was teaching. So that's how I never looked back from there. And I today teach metaphor therapy, hypnotherapy, family constellations, and many other techniques. And 50% of my work is training, and 50% of my work is my private practice. So let's get back to metaphor therapy and healing as we stand today. We have a lot and lot of techniques out. Today we are enriched. We are blessed that we have so much learning to do. The journey of becoming a sharp, focused, productive, result-oriented counselor does not happen overnight. And it doesn't happen with one course. So I'm sure everyone here has interest in taking it up as a career, counseling or coaching as a career. And trust me, it's not going to happen with one course, and it's not going to happen overnight. It's like sharpening a knife. You got to be at it and continuously sharper to get that razor kind of effect in your work. So for that, you will have to learn, you will have to invest. And for all those who are looking for a 900 or 999 kind of training, let me tell you, it's not that kind of training. It is a proper 45 hours of training, and we do not give you a certificate till you have actually mastered the complete art. We are going to ask you to practice and give us a demo session, and only then we'll observe you during the workshop, and only then your certificate will be issued. So having said that, let me now tell you what are the different modalities. All those who are coming from the counseling background and are counseling psychologists already know the use of adding skills to their existing knowledge. Those who want to enter the field, let me tell you, now is a good time. Simply because the way the world is awakening to the need of counselors and coaches, it's never been like this before. Nuclear family setups, Generation Z earning early, millennials having access to money is all making them much more enabled to get self-help. Also, the field of social media that allows us to spread our work, to get our clients, is way, way more effective than it has ever been. It is estimated that in the coming 10 years, this is one field which AI will not be able to replace. So if you're looking at a career which is your skill based and no AI can take it away from you, counseling and coaching industry is here and it's not going anywhere. The kind of estimations of projection of the way it's going to expand in the coming 10 years is amazing. You'll be amazed at how this field is expanding. Apps are there, but apps cannot take over a personal touch. They cannot take away bring in the element of empathy, sympathy, individual observations, individual client concerns, individual narratives, and concluding those narratives with solutions is very much human and it's going to stay. So for those who are thinking of entering, now's the time. And those who have not learned anything before and don't have a background, it's perfectly all right. For learning metaphor therapy, you do not need a background because you can take it as a base course, which will help you understand everything else better. So I'm moving on to my next slide. What I'd like to show you all is how the mental health broad categories are. As I told you, we'll be talking about the mental health segment as well. It's there as the organized sector and an unorganized sector. So in the organized sector, you have the psychiatrist, you have the counseling psychologist, clinical psychologist, and psychotherapist. In the unorganized sectors, you have the healer, crystal, angel, theta, reiki, pranic, chakras, tarot, and all these people. Then you have therapists, only therapists who are hypnotherapists, past life regression therapists, family constellation therapists, cognitive behavior therapists, client centered therapists, psychoanalysts. All these are also courses that people are doing to call themselves as therapists or integrated holistic therapists. Then you have coaches, which is the latest addition to this field. I wouldn't say latest, like it's been 15 years that I've been mapping the coaching industry. You have those who don't have the psychology degree, but have the sensibility, logic, desire to make a change. They can enter this industry through becoming a coach. Of course, you will need to enrich yourself with basics of psychology. It will always be helpful. You will always be needing to read up more and train yourself a little extra than those who already have the psychology background. So you have life coaches, you have corporate coach, you have a relationship coach, personal excellence coach, holistic coach, spiritual coach, NLP coach, motivational coach. Now you have, I'm seeing more and more advertisements about relationship coaches. So now how's coaching and counseling different? In essence, it was supposed to be different, but now it's all merged together. Coaches are counseling and counselors are coaching. So coaching was supposed to be a field which would take you into a result oriented domain and not necessarily take you to the root cause or go to your regression and everything. But now it's all become one integrated field where the coaches are also educating themselves and our life coaches are using a blend of all the techniques. So this is where the whole industry stands. All of them are doing great work, but all of them are going to require something called as a structure. Whether you are a counselor or a healer or a therapist or a life coach, you are going to require continuous education and you're going to require a structure. Coaching industry today is prolifically growing, and a good corporate coach that I know of is charging anything between 5 to 10,000 a session. A good motivational coach is charging between 3 to 4,000 a session. And these courses are expensive. If you go to ICF, International Coaching Federation, where you're going to do your coaching programs that can be somewhere around, maybe begin with 3 lakhs and go anywhere up to 10 lakhs. If you talk about hypnotherapy, the full program, level 1 to 5, in India is going to cost you anywhere around 2 to 3 lakhs. The same as a good program for NLP is 1.5 lakhs. So you need to know that it's ongoing, and you will have to put us for good coaching. See, I'm not talking about the 999 and 9999 coaching where there is a half pre-recorded, half instruction led, and you are left to listen to lectures. No, I'm talking about true knowledge transfer. Because when we take a program, what we are supposed to do as trainers is transfer the skill. And knowledge transfer is an art and science by itself. So, good courses are going to cost you a little bit extra, but the way they chisel you, the way the counselors or coaches' brain works, the way they look at things, the precision with which they can land at the right root cause, and the way to take the session forward is an art which you got to develop over a period of time. Once you develop that, you will have the courage to market yourself. Right now, if you've just done 1 or 2 courses, you don't have the courage to market yourself. Simply because marketing is an expensive game, and you need to come from a solid, confident foundation to be able to market yourself. Having said that, let's now come to the next thing, which is where we are going to look at metaphor therapy. So, apart from all these therapies, metaphor therapy lies in the field of projective psychology. People who are using cognitive behavior therapy use metaphors. People who use hypnotherapy use metaphors. NLP is very, very close to metaphor therapy, although not identical. But NLP all the time makes use of metaphors. If you are in the world of transformational processes, you cannot not come across a metaphor in that literature, in your knowledge, in your awareness. So, metaphor is the subconscious images that the client carry, and we can bring them up in 3 different ways. So, as I've already explained to you, the Carl Jung statement that the subconscious mind stores information in images, metaphor is the art, metaphor therapy is the art of working with these images. So, let us see what are we going to learn in this workshop. You're going to learn drawing analysis, color psychology, projective healing techniques, verbal metaphor. This is amazing. The way you do work with verbal metaphor is the way your brain is slowly and slowly and slowly sharpening. And one word that the client says can actually change the course of your entire session. You can become that sharp with not only diagnostic, but also your developing skills. Then you have imaginary metaphors, which is where you give your client certain imagination to do. You interpret, and then you convert that imaginary narrative into a complete transformational experience. Letting go of the past metaphor, trauma release therapy, acceptance and commitment therapy using metaphor, picture strip projection, the blob tree, and the 6 steps of acceptance commitment therapy, as well as making career choices using metaphors. You're also going to learn something called as a closure therapy using metaphor for people who have lost their loved ones. How do you do closure with those? So this is all the course content, which is divided over the basic and advanced level. You're going to learn each one of them through a demonstration, as well as you're going to practice each and every part of it. So this is the course content. After the course content, what do you get? So after your course is done, you will have a WhatsApp group support for practicing. So the workshop, I just finished one in October in Dubai. I'm with them every night. We have 3 drawings on the group. We have 3 narratives also on the group, which we are interpreting every day night. That support goes on. The group never dissolves. The group is always there. You are then added to an advanced group, which will continue to be there for a lifetime, and where you can put up your drawings, you can put up your narratives, you can get help, you can ask somebody to work with you. So, you're making a community, and you're being inducted into a strong community where you will have help around the year. There will be guidance to take your counseling and coaching career forward. So from where I have come, most of you are here from an advertisement that shows that advertisements work, and how do you How do I take my work forward? How should you take your work forward? Is what we'll be discussing during the classes. And I will put you on to my social media team that works with me. And of course, if you want, you're free to also work with your own team. But I'll just tell you that it's not difficult these days to set yourself up as a counselor or a coach. All that you require is the confidence. The reason we do not market ourselves enough is because we don't come from that rock solid foundation of confidence. And the confidence is going to come through continuous learning. Even people who do MBBS, MS, and PhDs, and everything, or people who are engineers and scientists, are continuously learning. So this continuous learning journey has to go on. And the more you be in, I just finished learning a course myself. I'm already into the industry from 30 years and I'm still looking out for what more to learn. So that quest to sharpen yourself is very important. And that's what that WhatsApp group that we are going to give you is going to keep on catering to your quest. So how will this workshop help me in my practice? So number one, it's going to help you sharpen your diagnostic, development, and closure techniques. It's going to give you hands-on practice of each process, an ability to make your sessions more and more impactful. We're going to teach you different therapy techniques for different client concerns. There's going to be confidence in your own therapeutic skills, and that's what you market. You do not actually sell counseling. You buy trust. When people talk to you for 5 minutes, that trust comes through that, yes, you'll be able to help me. That's what a confidence does to most of our work. Motivation to establish yourself as a counselor, coach, or therapist. It will enable you to understand other modalities. See, this is a base course, okay? Metaphors is basics of everything. As I told you earlier, lots and lots of modalities use metaphors. Like when you're doing guided imagery, what are you doing? You're actually using metaphors. When you're doing a chakra healing, what are you doing? You're using those energy centers, calling them as chakras, giving it a color and name. And those are metaphors for energy centers in your body. Not that they are actually there and in that form and shape that the pictures display. But those metaphors help us to connect to them. It enables understanding of other modalities, and you will be able to script your own therapy scripts because you got to get creative. In our field, because your clients are going to be so different all the time, that in order to get more and more efficient at dealing with vicarious client concerns, you will need creativity, and you will be able to model your own client scripts. So what are the other courses and workshops by the counseling company? So here are they. The course that's coming up in January is NLP practitioner and master level. We have a course coming up in December, counseling skill masterclass, basic and advanced, hypnotherapy, past life regression, child psychology, play therapy, basic and advanced psychology, complete course in hypnotherapy, professional career guidance program, family and systemic constellation facilitator course. This course is coming up in Jan also. Relationship magic, parenting reflections, self-hypnosis, and personal transformations. So all this is what will keep on coming to you from time to time. Now, the costing and duration of other courses, I've already told you. Life coach, ICF certified, you can check it online. 3,50,000. NLP, a good course, basic level is 20 to 80,000. Hypnotherapy was 120. They've just increased it right now. It's come to 2 lakhs. Cognitive behavior therapy with a Beck certification is 75,000. Metaphor 45,000. Basic and advanced counseling 35,000. So these are the rough estimates that I'm giving you of the industry. Let's look at this course, this particular course. So we have the basic course. Let me explain to you how we distribute the timing. Okay. So the basic course is on 29th and 30th November. And we will have add-on classes once a week in the evenings for 2.5 hours, which we will decide with the batch, which day works for everybody. Then we are skipping one weekend for practice, and then we are going to the advanced course, which is on the 13th and 14th December, and then we will have extra classes for that. We will be doing this on Zoom. The timing will be India time 12 o'clock and we'll go on till 1:30, lunch break at 1:30 to 2:30, and then we'll go on till 4 o'clock, then tea break, and then till 5 o'clock or 5:30. So this is how we are going to take the classes, 2 weekends and then extra weekday classes. We'll complete the entire curriculum. I'm not stuck on the number of hours as much as the quality of everyone having learned well. So sometimes it can be longer, sometimes it can be shorter, but we deliver each and every technique to you. We get you to practice it completely. In fact, I've seen my students are the ones who will say, ma'am, can we wrap this up sooner because I want to practice. I'm already, kind of in the process where I'm so excited and I'm beginning to talk to people and I've already done 50 drawings and so that's how the encouragement, the excitement builds up as a professional. Uh, Now the costing was 45,000, friends, before lockdown. And then during lockdown, a major money crisis was there with everybody as much as with me. We brought it down to from 45,000, and currently we are offering the discounted cost for November 2025 batch is 32,000, which is payable in installments. You can pay in installments. The basic metaphor is 14,000. The advanced metaphor is 18,000. Early bird before 25th is 29,000 for both basic and advanced put together. Special price if you are enrolling before tomorrow, and I'm not doing this as a marketing gimmick to catch you. It just makes my team's work easier, and I don't have a huge team. So if you can make up your mind by tomorrow, then you have to pay 27,000 for basic and advanced. And this is all payable in installments. So you can block your seat right now for paying only 2,000 as the registration. The GPay number is here. If you like, please take a screenshot of this slide. So you have the number, you have the payment details. So if you take a screenshot, it'll be great. And now what we do is we will stop here with the details of the metaphor therapy class, and we will give you all the details. You can check our website. We have the reviews of people who've done metaphors with us. I've not even been taking so many reviews. I've just started doing it now because my team, my social media team has been asking me, because I'm not a marketing person, so I never kept an eye for that, but now I'm beginning to do it. Right? So this is the website, and this is what it is. So now all those who are interested can make up your mind. But what I'd like you to do is also message me on the WhatsApp. I'll open the WhatsApp chat. Can you all please message me? I joined. It would be great if you all can do that. Right. So we end this narrative here, and we'll wait for you all to join us, and I'll stop the recording here, but I will take question and answers now from all of you. Okay. So the recording is stopped. So all those who are listening to the recording, please reach out to us and we will talk to you.